Hey, what's up? This is your boy Coach Sambo, and in this video I will show you how to go from a windmill to a head spin.
Eight police officers in the hospital.
Chaotic scene.
What's up, crackheads? This is your boy Coach Sambo, your online b-boy coach.
Now give me 5 push-ups.
And welcome to Coach Sambo's windmill to head spin tutorial. And in this tutorial,
Of course.
I will show you the easiest way to learn windmill to head spin. And besides that, I will show you the most common mistakes made when learning this combo. And above that, to make this once more the best tutorial on windmill to head spin ever, I will also show you how you can go from a windmill to a head spin without using your hands. So that means no hand. And of course, you will find some bonus content, tips, and jokeroos for your amusement spread throughout this whole tutorial. So of course, if you want to learn the windmill to the head spin, you need to know how to do a windmill and you need to know how to do a head spin. And one might ask,
Sambo, do you have such tutorials?
and the answer is, of course I do have these tutorials. So head on over to my YouTube channel and check these tutorials out before starting making combos with moves you can't do yet. And besides the windmill and the head spin tutorial, you will also find many other tutorials that you can use to build up your b-boy stats. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want to book me personally for workshops or classes or whatever, then just use the voice look and head on over to my website or just DM me on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe right here in advance, because you know my videos right here are legit, right? Yes. So assuming you have a decent control over your windmill and head spin, we're gonna start to learn this transition by rolling backwards into a headstand. This is 40% of the transition already right here. And if this is easy for you, you are going to learn the windmill to head spin in about 3 minutes and 24 seconds. What you need for this is a good leg pump synchronized with the push of the arms. Once you are in a headstand position, you need to reset the placement of those hands to stabilize that headstand. This part is really important, because if you can't stabilize a headstand,
Then how the hell are you gonna do this?
while spinning around, right? Touché. So once you can roll back to a headstand, we're gonna add just a little bit of rotation. For this, we're going to start in a backspin or ninja kick position. As I also explained in my windmill to handstand tutorial, you want to use only 10% of the speed you would normally use for a normal backspin. This will give your muscle memory and body that feel of going from a windmill to a headspin. So as you can see, we're already adding a little bit of rotation, making this a windmill to headspin-ish kind of move. The most important thing here is for you to remember to reset your hands the moment you stand on your head. If you don't reset those hands, they might get tangled up. But even worse than that, if you reset them too late, you probably might have already lost your balance.
And then you're gonna crash.
So make sure you reset those hands at the right moment, and then you'll be everyone's favorite b-boy. The most common mistakes at this point are people not rolling enough to the back, making the legs hit the floor. And for this, I really have to remind you that at this point, we're doing more of a roll to the back than an actual windmill. Another common mistake is people not placing the hand on the floor as soon as possible to stabilize that headstand. This will make you lose complete control over the whole transition. Also, another common mistake is people placing both hands behind them because they're used to rolling back into their head. But when you're going from a windmill to a head spin, you want to place both hands to the side as you would do in a windmill. So the best thing for you to practice when you're still learning this is just doing this motion and stopping it in a complete headstand. Don't think about the head spin yet. Just try and get into that headstand nice and clean. If this starts to work, then you just have to stop. Once your balance is nicely in place, then you can start tapping for those head spins. Don't focus too fast on going from this move straight into a head spin. You using a lot of speed and just thinking about a crazy head spin will probably make you learn this slower than you usually would if you would just listen to these guidelines right here. And for this, you gotta trust me, guys. And if you can hit this ninja kick into a headstand 5 out of 5, only at this point, I would recommend you to actually tapping straight away right after the transition. I recommend a slow and consistent pace just so you know how to stay in control of what you're doing. And I see a lot of kids that just learn this transition and they just go so fast that they don't even control the head spin. This is basically just playing with fire, because you never know if you're gonna crash or not. You really need to master whatever you want to learn. And that's why I'm here. Once you start to understand all of this, then you're actually already doing pretty clean windmill to head spins. The explosiveness will depend on how good your windmill and your head spin is. If you can't let your hands go while doing a head spin, then you can't expect to make it look too crazy yet, but of course, you gotta keep practicing. Once you manage to do this and get into these taps, then you should actually start from a real windmill. And try and transition the leg technique from your backspin, ninja kick position, straight into the windmill from now on. It's exactly the same thing, and it's exactly the same feeling. And just make sure you don't crash, of course. Once you master all of this, a really good exercise for you to do at this point is doing multiple windmill to head spins. You wanna go from a windmill to a head spin, back to windmill, back to head spin, back to windmill, back to head spin. And the first windmill to head spin should feel as good as the last one. That's when you know that you got your technique on lock. All right, great job, guys. Even though I can't see you practice. But anyways, great job. So now it's time to learn this transition no-handed. And that's what you want, right? Then hit the like button down below. So for the no-handed windmill to headspin transition, we actually want to go back to the backspin / ninja kick position. As previously explained, the leg and hip work is one of the most important things when learning this transition. And now it will be the only tool you have to get into that headstand. To be able to learn this transition, you need a good no-handed headspin. And I'm talking about a good one, guys. Don't f with me. Start again by rolling back to your head and using 10% of speed. Try this with a little bit of hands first, as at this point I don't really know how strong your neck is. Come to think about it, you just might be an 80-year-old woman watching my tutorials. What am I doing? Just make sure you know how to do a normal windmill to headspin before trying this out, which is kind of logic, right? So by doing this slow motion ninja kick with 10% of speed, you want to use your hips and legs to get that bounce and then push off with your head. From here, you want to try and enter a slow motion headspin with your arms and legs nice and open for good balance. And for this move right here, I have to give a really big shout out to one of my students, my main man Sis, because he has murdered this move. Here, check him out at freestyle session a few years back. Mad balance, completely crazy, and a major inspiration for me to help you guys get your windmill to headspin to that next level. So once you know how to do this from the ninja kick or backspin position, then you kind of know the feeling and the technique you need to apply this in a normal windmill. And as you already figured out, your legs have to do most of the work while slightly pushing with your head, but not too much, because you don't want to get those neck cramps, right? So once you can do any form of windmill headspin, then you can start to be creative and cook your own stuff. Maybe going from a windmill to a headspin variation, or maybe going from a backspin no-handed into a headspin, or any type of windmill variation into any type of headspin variation. Or maybe you could do your legs in a certain position during your windmill and keep that position up into that headspin. And this way you can create a lot of stuff by yourself, because that is what the game is all about. And follow the motherfucking rules, motherfucker. Because Coach Sambo right here is not doing everything for you.
You gotta do it yourself.
What you can do is film this and send this to my Instagram so I can check it out and give you some feedback on that. And even if you don't know how to do it, then send me a video of that and I would love to help you out with that. Also, if you want private sessions, workshops, or classes, then just DM me that and we'll take care of that. And also you will find tons of additional training content on my Patreon really soon. So did you like this tutorial? Well, I hope so, because I did use 125% of my brain capacity to make this for you. So if you enjoyed it, just spam the comment section so you can help me out rank all the way up to #1 in this YouTube game. Also, let me know what tutorials you want to see next, because I'm real and I'm reading your comments. So let me just hear from you so we can make this work. It's a win-win situation. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's all about that b-boy shit.